Welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. So today we're going to begin the lesson by looking at understanding durations of time. So we're going to have a look at different durations of time. We're going to see which one makes the most sense. So have a think about getting dressed. If you were to get dressed for your PE lesson in school, or you were getting dressed for coming to school and putting your uniform on, have a think of how long it might take you. Now your three options are 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 5 hours. So have a think, which one do you think logically would be the right duration of time for getting dressed? So if you think about 5 seconds, 5 seconds is really not a long amount of time. In fact, we could count 5 seconds on the video really easily, and I think it would be very difficult to get dressed in 5 seconds. And 5 hours is almost as long as the time that you are in school on a normal school day. We're normally in school for 6.5 hours a day, and 5 hours is not that far away from 6.5 hours. So I don't think it's 5 seconds, and I don't think it's 5 hours, but it might take you about 5 minutes to get dressed. Because if you think back to our PE lessons, when we got changed in the classroom, we would put our 5 minute timer on, which was our Mission Impossible music, and try to beat the 5 minute timer for getting changed. So 5 minutes is about the right amount of time for getting dressed. So this time, have a think about a swimming lesson or a dance lesson. Okay, if you were going to a swimming lesson, do you think the swimming lesson would last for 30 seconds, 30 minutes, or 30 hours? So let's break them down again and have a think. We'll start with the biggest one this time. So 30 hours is more than a day and a little bit more. So 30 hours would last our whole entire day, all the way through the daytime and through the nighttime. Okay, 30 minutes is half an hour. So 30 minutes is about the time you probably get to play out after you've eaten your lunch. So you probably play out after your dinner for about 30 minutes. So do you think that makes sense to be the time that you might have a swimming lesson? Or do you think it might be 30 seconds? Again, we could count 30 seconds on the video quite easily. So I think 30 seconds is just a little bit short because by the time you've got in the swimming pool and got yourself wet, it's time to get out again. So it's definitely not going to be 30 seconds and it's definitely not going to be 30 hours. I think if anybody had a swimming lesson for 30 hours, they would be so tired by the end of it. The answer is, in fact, 30 minutes. So have a think of other things that you might do and the duration it might take you. Okay, moving on. We're going to look at comparing and sequencing intervals of time today. Now, I'm just going to move this bar model down and make it just a little bit bigger so that we can have a look at these together. So you can see here, I have got some sequences and intervals of time on a bar model. Now, this is the first time we have ever seen anything like this because usually it's not presented in a bar model. So let's break it down and have a look at the information that we can see. So in the top of our bar model here, the total amount of time that we are looking at here for our bar model is 2 hours, which is the same as 120 minutes. So that is the total of our bar model. We've then split our bar model down into 1 hour durations. So this red piece is 1 hour or 60 minutes, and this red piece is 1 hour and it's the same as 60 minutes. So both of those combined are 2 hours long. And then we further split our bar model into half an hour. So half an hour, which is 30 minutes, is here, which is, and another half an hour, which is 30 minutes, makes a complete 1 hour or 60 minutes when we add the two together. Because if you look here, I'm just going to change my pen colour to something a little bit different. Here, if I split my bar in half, this is showing information for 1 hour. So half an hour and half an hour is 1 hour. Okay. And again on this side, half an hour and half an hour is a total of 1 hour. And when we combine the whole bar model here, it is a total of 2 hours. So it's just a little bit of a different way of presenting information about how long different durations are. Now, if you think back to our quiz yesterday, you were asked how many minutes were there in 2 hours, and the answer is actually on this board for you. Okay, because we've worked out that 60 minutes add 60 minutes is a total of 2 hours. So that's what our bar model is showing us. So let's have a look at the bar model underneath that I have just hidden. So I will move the board down so we can have a look at it. So this bar model is totally different in colour and is totally different information. So you can see that the total time that we're looking at for this bar model is 1 week. Who can remember what does 1 week equal? If I put my equal sign in there, what does 1 week equal? Well, you can find out this information by counting along here. So let's count the days and see how many days is 1 week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 week is a total of 7 days. Now, if we think back to our lesson where we were looking at the days of the week, we can actually say this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So well done if you've recognised that. Now, one day is the same amount of time, which is what our bar model here is showing us, as 24 hours. So 24 hours is exactly the same as one day. But if we've got 24 hours for 7 days, then it would total one whole week. So you're going to have a go today at finding missing information from bar models. So on the website, you will find that there's a bar model or a few bar models and they've got missing information. And I would like you to read the rest of the information you can see if you can work out what is missing. So for example, if we were to look at our bar model at the top here, and we had this bit of information here was missing, if I put a box over the top of it, so this bit of information here was missing, and this bit of information here was missing, and this bit of information here was missing. So you would have to find out what would go in each of those boxes. Now, when we're using bar models, remember that there is always another bit of information that would help us to find the missing details. So just use the rest of the bar model in order to answer those questions. Send them through to me so I can see how you've got on. Well done and good luck, everyone.